Growing up, I was always the class clown. I just had too much energy, and that's exactly who I am today. I love to entertain people by mixing magic and comedy together. I get my inspiration from kind of unusual places, like the grocery store and antique shops. And that's how I invent my own magic. So it always has an unexpected twist. I just like doing things differently. In fact, the more stupid my friends think an idea is, the more I want to create it. At 18 years old, I spent 2 weeks living in a straitjacket to set a world record. I had to enlist the help of a best friend tell me eat, drink, sleep, and, well, the other stuff. Last year during the pandemic was really tough. I wasn't able to be on a stage, in front of a crowd, doing the one thing that I love. I promised myself that 2021 would be my year. And a big part of that was being on Fool Us. I've always admired the way Penn and Teller seamlessly blend magic and comedy together. I've looked up to that my entire life. I've always been called a fool for my crazy ideas, but if I fool Penn and Teller, who's the fool now?
Make way for the comedy magic of Mark Clearview.
Yeah!
My grandfather was a great magician. We did this one trick together involving an egg that would fool everyone. And today I actually have the honor of sharing the stage again with him. So would you please join me in welcoming my grandfather. Sorry, he was born in 1929, so he's gonna need a little bit of help getting up here. Yes. My grandfather. One of the traits my grandfather instilled in me was the inability to hold down a job. It's been emulated by many a magician since. And I was so fascinated with this as a child that I used to collect all of his business cards, all from different professions. And I was wondering if, Allison, you would join me on stage to look through a couple? Allison Hannigan. Hey, Allison, if you could just hug this corner right here.
Sure.
All the cards are for different professions.
Okay.
So we have pharmacist. He used to call himself the pill-lusionist. He mixed up a lot of people's medications, many a lawsuit, which is what led him to become a lawyer, because he already had the lying part down. A close-up mortician. People were absolutely dying to see him. It's All About You Incorporated. That's when he was a therapist specializing in narcissistic personality disorder. He actually had a client who went on to be president. And an accountant, which ironically is the job that bankrupted him. So all sorts of different cards here. I'm gonna riffle my thumb down. Could you just say stop for me somewhere, Allison?
Stop.
Right there. Ooh, good choice. The dentist card. At this point, you might be wondering to yourself, how is your grandfather able to be so successful in so many different professions? Yeah. And he wasn't. He was a con artist. Let's continue. Allison, would you mind signing your name on the back of that card for me? Nice and big.
Oh, this is a terrible signature.
And maybe a smiley face, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Sure.
I only thought this was fitting because my grandfather was a huge fan of yours in the later half of his life.
Oh, nice.
You might be thinking if he was here, he'd be appreciative also. In reality, he'd probably yell at you for ruining a perfectly good business card. He was a cheap man, scary guy. Now we have Allison's dentist business card with your signature across the back, but not for long, because I'm about to make it vanish the way my grandfather would make a card vanish. Watch. He was also a pyromaniac, which is what led him to become a volunteer firefighter. Okay. Watch as the card slowly begins to vanish. Slowly being the operative word here. There was a lot in there that would have fooled you, just so you know. Okay. Watch as the card vanishes, 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 vanishes. But that's not the cool part, because then my grandfather would wave his hands through the smoke, and as if he was gathering all the particles of that card back together, like a phoenix from the ashes, the card would reappear inside of the egg. Oh, geez. Anyway, the card is still vanishing, would reappear inside of the egg. The ashes of the card would reappear inside of the egg, which is actually more impressive because a card is just one thing and that's thousands. So
Amazing.
unless,
Oh, no.
Allison, would you mind putting these on? It's about to get weird.
Oh, about. Should have told me that 5 minutes ago.
This is a sealed urn. Hasn't been opened since the day he went inside.
Oh.
Magic wand, abracadabra. And inside of my grandfather, I think you'll see one business card. I'm just gonna unfold it. Allison, is this my grandfather's dentist business card?
Mm-hmm.
It is, which is pretty cool, but even cooler if it has Allison's signature across the back. Thank you very much. I've been Mark Clearview my whole life. Thank you.
Mark Clearview! Wow. So how do you like being on the Fool stage?
I can hardly imagine this is really happening.
Oh.
Is it happening?
It is,
Okay.
and you did very well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Penn and Teller have been my favorite magicians since I was 6 years old. Remember watching them, the way they integrate magic and comedy together is inspiring, so.
So have you learned anything from watching Penn and Teller that you use in your performances?
To me, I think this was kind of inspired in a way by Penn and Teller. There's a little bit of morbid humor included in it, and I don't shy away from that because of what I've seen these two do for so long.
Well, you're a natural at it.
Thank you. I have a lot of grandfather on me, I'm just realizing. So that's...
Did your grandfather get to see you?
Yes, my grandfather saw me perform many times, which was really special to be able to share that with him. And this is an homage to him, even though he's right there on the stage with me.
All right, well, let's see if you get a Foolish trophy to keep next to Grandpa's new urn.
You didn't have to do anything after that entrance.
Thank you.
That entrance was just the greatest. Really great.
Thank you so much.
I mean, a really good fall. Just the perfect props that we wanted to see fall on the floor. It was just fabulous. And it was so good. What a nice style. And really, really funny and casual. And you lit our floor on fire, which we will bill you for.
Happy to.
And even though you were doing business cards, you were doing a card trick and some of those moves. But I want to tell you most about your grandfather. He obviously had a big effect on you. You were forged in his image. You really did. You were put under that pressure and you came out. He would be so proud of you, so proud of you. But as good as you were, you did not dupe us. We were not fooled. We do not think. Did we sneak some stuff in there?
I think they pretty much caught me.
Did they?
I think they know exactly.
They know how you and your granddad did the trick?
Yes, they did. It was my grandfather, really, who didn't fool you, I just want to say.
Well, thank you. You certainly entertained us all.
Thank you.
All right, Mark Clearview!
Thanks, guys.